What is going on, people? Now, this is our rally party that was done pretty much just a couple of hours before our three-way KVK that never ended up being. So we migrated to this kingdom not too long ago, but we did not know that some of the family was actually going to be migrating to the same kingdom. So it just kind of happened. So when this rally party started, we were actually not in a call or anything like that. We just kind of saw it unfold and we decided to tag along. Now, when that happens, usually that means that you're going to be a little bit late on the rally, so we had to kind of improvise as we went. As you can say there, the first one unfortunately shielded. But yeah, what we basically started to do is we put a tracker rally on one of the rally leads, and we just kind of followed them and see which castle they started to test the phalanx. Basically, it was set a rally on the smoking castle. That's pretty much what it was. And even though we will still be a little behind, we would not be behind by much. I believe that there was at least like 10 to 15 rallies somewhere in that vicinity. So it was a pretty decent sized rally party, and one that if you were not ready, yeah, you were gonna get caught with your pants down. So there it goes. Let me see if I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, I can't see it anymore, but I'm telling you, it's about 10 or 15. And there goes the first target, Lana Mateo. Now here's what's kind of interesting about this one, right? They were not in gear when we first set rallies on this person, and they clearly switched to an infantry heavy gear set. Now, what's funny about that is that apparently they were online and they were trying to take this rally. Well, clearly that didn't work because they shielded. But here's the crazier part about that, right? There's no shame in trying to take 10, 15 rallies and just not being able to and shielding. I mean, it happens. But here's the crazy part, okay? I started looking over at the kingdom news because, you know, it tells you, you know, what people sent, how much damage, etc. And they lost their leader. So yeah, not only were they trying to take these rallies, it was so bad that they actually ended up losing their leader midway. Like, that means that you didn't have that many troops, so why would you try and take this? Now they started really well. I mean, they capped a couple of leaders, and you see there that people were sending range, calves, etc. But when you don't, this person probably had like 20 million troops. That was nowhere near enough. Probably a little less. That only had, they got zeroed in like 6 or 7 rallies. Like, in what point in time did they think, oh, I can take twice as much as, like, I just don't know. Maybe they just underestimated the power of 10 or 15 rallies and what you have to do to be able to take them. But yeah, unfortunately, they did not come out on top on that one. Lana Mateo, you should probably get a little bit more troops. Now on to the next one. We got Captain 5-5. Now this one, what we tried to do is, since we're always a little behind, we try to set the rally early and then have a tracker and just wait until they all launch, and then I would release my timer and then we would carpet. Because if not, we would always be like 30 seconds behind. Because yeah, that's just what happens when you're not in a call. So there I see them marching. I'm like, okay, we gotta go. I let go of my timer, I switch over to my gear, and then we start carpeting it, and then hopefully we start getting some action in here, and bow, there it is, baby. We get some flames, release some of the leaders that were already captured, and then we got some straggler rallies here at the end. They were probably in the same predicament that we were in, always being a little bit behind, but it is what it is. We actually, it looked like we got a nice decent hit in, because before then we were just either getting shields or 0 troops. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at my rally, and there it is. We got 2.6 million dead, 90k wounded, which is kind of weird. I wonder how that ended up happening. Maybe they got reinforcements or something in the middle, because we damn sure weren't the first ones to hit. So I don't know, it's kind of odd. But since they were in a cavalry phalanx, me sending infantry definitely was an advantage, because at that point they absolutely had no cavalry. So yeah, I mean, look at that. They had how much cavalry? None. So yeah, it was the perfect storm. And then after that, the next couple of rallies that hit were pretty much just 2-0 whatever was left over. So it is what it is. Now let's go ahead and actually take a look at all the hits, because it actually gives you a good idea. Even though the second one got capped, he did 6.2 million killed and injured troops. That means that they took at least 4 million reds on that one. And then the next one did the same amount, another 6 million. So it goes to show you that once the cavalry was wiped out, then the actual cav rallies were doing so much damage. It's actually insane. Now this guy, from these hits, you can tell that this guy actually had a lot of troops. I'm thinking 25 to 30 million troops. But when you're going up against all of these, yeah. Looks like we actually were not the ones to get the first burn. It was SS Terrible. Regardless, though, those were awesome hits. And we actually were one of the last ones to actually get a hit to go in there. Now, and that was with starting the rally early, carpeting, and all of that. So it was a lot. Now we got to the next target, Venok, or I guess I don't know how to pronounce that. I guess we'll just call it Venok. And we did pretty much the same thing. We started the rally early, and then I was just gonna sit here and wait until they marched in order to hopefully get a hit in. So I see them all marching. I go ahead and release. This time I make sure that the timer was there first, just in case. It makes it a little bit easier. And then we kind of just walk in, and you see Venok is starting to capture some people, and then they get blasted. Now, unfortunately, we don't get carpeted on this one. I thought that we were going to get a carpet in. Actually, here at the end, we get like 1 or 2. But at that point, it was pretty much GG. We got SNC here coming in at the last second. But at that point, Venok was already done. So he dropped about, what, 300 or 400 million might, give or take. So not too shabby. Unfortunately, once again, we hit nothing. See, it's with rally parties though, especially big ones, a lot of times you either are gonna get a hit where you get capped, or you get a hit where you get 0. It's very rare for you to get a hit where you get that nice juicy in between hit. Oh, it's kind of rough. So yeah, you either just get absolutely destroyed or get nothing. Getting that middle section is kind of rough. But yeah, either way, there goes all the hits on that one. There wasn't like any staggering, like super high hit outside of BLGY with the 5 million killing injured troops. But all the other hits were kind of, they weren't too bad. And then of course near the end, that's when you start seeing the bigger hits, because well, they don't really have much to go on. So yeah, there it is. I mean, this one still would show that had a pretty decent amount of troops, but it didn't show all the rallies. I'm pretty sure there was at least 5 or 6 rallies that hit nothing after they were pretty much zeroed. And then he did actually have a bunch, and I mean a bunch of resources, which people started looting, especially since it was right before KVK. People wanted the resources. We had just migrated, so the banks was kind of dry. But honestly, when it's like this, I honestly don't even feel like I can be bothered to gather it. I don't know. Maybe you guys let me know when it's something like that. Do you guys even bother trying to gather the resources? Because it's, I don't know. It's too much. But either way, we got another target here. I was pretty much just setting infantry rallies the whole time, because I figured if anything, we might be one of the last ones to hit, just because how that setup it is. We're not in the call. We don't know their timing, etc. We're always going to be a little behind. So if you're always a little behind, the one troop that's usually not the ones that's left over is cavalry. The more likely one to be left over is ranged or infantry. So I figured an infantry rally was going to be the safest bet. But unfortunately, this one shielded. And then at this point, we have been rallying for about an hour. So everybody had pretty much a good idea that, hey, there's a rally party going on. You guys should probably get on and shield or do something. And yeah, unfortunately, that's why rally parties, you have to do it quick within the first 40 to 50 minutes, maybe into an hour. Because after that, all the guilds have pretty much sent out a notification, you know, like, hey, get up, etc. So Yeah. So this is gonna be pretty much the last target. 10, 6, 6, hero, 6, 6. It's a lot of sixes. But yeah, once again, we set the rally, and we were gonna be a little late all over again. But that was something that we knew was coming, and unfortunately, this was another person that shielded. And by this point, we kind of knew, like, okay, it looks like everybody's pretty much either online or have already shielded or are just baiting to waste time. So it was at this point that we were like, okay, I think it's time to call it, because KVK is about to start. But yeah, more parties, more rallies coming at ya. Appreciate you guys for watching, and until later.